Hey, this is ASpengler, and today we have another vehicle review. Today it is the T-26, a Soviet light tank. But before we go too much into it, we're going to go ahead and watch the time lapse like usual. So go ahead, watch that, and then go into more of a review. Okay, so as you saw the time lapse, it wasn't a complete time lapse, and there might be quite a few differences that you see, but overall the suspension's the same. The back is fairly similar to what you saw. You didn't see the turret, and I heavily edited the front in a few sections just because for some reason I just couldn't, I feel like I just couldn't get it right completely, so I went back and I did some edits afterwards. Worked on the turret for a while, but for some reason this tank just took me a lot longer than a lot of my usual tanks. So, but I think I ended up getting it fairly accurate to how it actually looks. You can at least tell that it looks like a T-26. So that's the deal with the time lapse. Sorry that I couldn't get it. I feel like that's kind of been a trend lately. Just with the more complex things, it's just harder to get it on the time lapse. But here it is, finished. There's a few things that I still want to edit. I probably could fix the front a little bit, but overall I think it looks pretty good. For some reason I took forever on the suspension. But I got it accurate to the number of road wheels. I got fairly accurate to how it looks on the inside. I probably put it a little bit farther inset than it should be, so it might be a little bit more detailed. I probably put a little too much emphasis on it and worked a little bit harder than I should have on that part, but I think it overall looks pretty good. It's probably it goes a little bit deeper than it should. If you look at the T-26, it's actually a bit more plain than this, so I might have added a little bit too many details and stuff, but got the engine, ventilation, exhaust, another exhaust bit here, put a few details on like hammer, a couple crate bags, whatever. We do have the opening top on the very top, which sometimes gets stuck, and I attach it to the gun, so it's somewhat inconvenient, but it works. I think the actual turret top would be a little bit farther back, but this is where it worked the best to put it, so that's where it ended up. So there's the hatch that opens up. The turret can swivel, but you can go up and down, but it works best when the hatch is open. It can do the full 360 turn, and those are the main features. I didn't in the time lapse you saw that I was trying to include this front compartment, but I just ended up, when I did it with the guy, it was too tall, so part of the edits were to make it a little shorter, and it just didn't allow for the room for the guy. But I did get that light in. I think that turned out pretty good. So there's the T-26, one a fairly heavy produced Soviet tank. First designed early 30s, so it was a pre-war design which quickly became outdated, so they weren't the best tank, but still a notable tank just because of how many there are. So another good vehicle to add to my Russian forces. So some things for the future and some future vehicle builds. I'm still hoping to do a BT-7 sometime in the future, but I really want to get a Panzer 38T done at some point, just because that chassis was used on so many different tanks, or tank destroyers more specifically, on the German side. So those are a few tanks that you might see sometime in the future, so we'll see about that. But for that, that's gonna be it for this video. If you want to see more content, we'll have episodes of Clone Cathedral coming out every Sunday. So that's gonna be it for this video. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.